What is quickly becoming obsolete? Electronics repair. I joined the Army in '08 as a radio repairman. I thought the experience would be useful. 15 years on, and tech progression has made the job as useful as wet cardboard. As a bank teller, my job, if there weren't people who still want a bank like it's 1904, my job wouldn't exist. Ownership. Everything is subscription. The fax machine, I only use it 3-4 times a day now. Slips. No one wears them anymore and they are becoming harder to find in brick-and-mortar retail stores. When I first entered the professional workforce in 1987, the idea of not wearing a slip or stockings simply did not enter my mind. It's great that they're not considered necessary with every skirt or dress anymore. But I have a couple of dresses that really do need a slip underneath. Where I live you can always find them at local thrift stores. Luckily. Photo centers. I used to go to the Costco one when it still existed to get prints. It's hard to find any in my area now. The programming language I just learned. Hard-coded subtitles. It's hard finding movies or TV shows with originals. Watching an old Burn Notice episode and a Russian guy was speaking and subtitles just said speaking Russian, despite when airing had English subs for that part when originally aired. DVDs and CDs. So much is sold digitally now. I like the case, design, and photo booklets that come with CDs. I went to a very large mall last weekend intending to buy an album, and found no CDs available. Hard copies of physical games, movies, and music. These are all digitally accessible by obsoleted technology. Not many toll booth attendants left. My skill set. I'm a 74-year-old white guy. A 20-something asked me recently what I was doing now that I'm retired. I told him I'm learning to be irrelevant. Home telephones. Manned registers at grocery stores. More and more are converting to fully self-check kiosks with a handful of employees to help out on any issues. Cable. Travel agents. Cat dogs. There used to be nothing in the world like a little cat dog. Now you can't find them anywhere. Education as a stepping stone to economic advancement. I did a whole degree in journalism back in the early 90s. Just in time for newspapers and magazines to go the way of the dodo. Had to turn around and do a completely different degree just to get work. Affordable housing. Cursive handwriting. Kids aren't being taught how to read and write it. The middle class. All that's left is the rich and the poor. Cash. And it's really disturbing given the large number of Americans who can't have a checking account. Working in an office and the 5-day work week. Malls. My laptop. Magazines. Attention span lol. Finding a middle ground between two opinions. Literally any light other than LED. YTF are people still buying non-LED lights? Probably anything to do with computers. I was looked at as an expert when I was younger. Now I know basically nothing. Telephones. Since the carriers refuse to use the tools and laws they have to protect paying customers from spoofers and spammers, there's pretty much no point answering or making a voice call. What's quickly going to become obsolete is data analytics. OpenAI can smoke anything I can do or my entire analytics team can do in fractional amount of time. Right now the only thing we have going for us is context. I strongly feel that's going to be solved in the next decade. My effort. Privacy. Cable TV. Etiquette and common courtesy. Everyone is on their damn phone and bump into you and say nothing, or they talk so loud that you can't hear yourself think. When did being an inconsiderate asshole fashionable? Physical media. Human labor. The value of the average unskilled adult is quickly becoming less than the value of the resources required to keep them alive. Ties. Always obsolete, but less times they are implicitly required. Movie theaters. I mean, people still go to them, but streaming services are starting to slowly take over the movie theater industry. Literally any kind of customer service. People in those positions nowadays have zero, and you can tell they hate life and don't give a shit if you know it. My gym membership. Cookbooks. Me. Seriously. I'm a 60-year-old woman. Never married. No kids. No work experience since 1998. No qualifications. I can't drive any broken pencil. Copper axes. All the kids are using bronze. But, more seriously, metal is losing some functionality to advanced ceramics. Human beings making art. Apparently. I see far too many of those shitty AI images with everyone fawning over them anymore. The ability to think for yourself and not be compelled to be a follower. Lunch for $2 under $30. Fart jokes. My CDs of the extended LOTR trilogy. Local storage media. If it's not backed up online, it doesn't exist, and then, when your favorite storage site gets shut down, has an error, you're screwed out of your stuff. Anytime Microsoft goes down, it becomes newsworthy. If they ever go down for 48, help us. Enough businesses would be shut down and unable to write a document or communicate. No one in medium-sized business is backing up and archiving in cold storage. No backup CDs of accounting records. No backups on USB drives. Digital artists are quickly being replaced by AI. I spent nearly 2 decades practicing that shit, and this is how it ends. Affordable housing. Groceries. The will to live. DVDs. Decency. Physical media. Phone calls. But I want them to stay. They're so much more human. Free-to-air television. Creative jobs like copywriting. I just got let go from my job as a copywriter, and I'm seriously considering not doing it again. I will be able to do it flawlessly well within the decade, I reckon. Physically going to work, perhaps not quickly, but only due to stubborn resistance. Because of the pandemic, many started to work from home. This caused more and more people to ask the question, why do I need to come to this building again? And it is a valid question. The general answer is, so we can control you better. Which is, in my opinion, a bad answer. Inevitably, more and more workers will demand the option for remote work. Eventually, it will be the norm. Cash. Your freedoms and humanity. Facebook, Twitter, etc. Bitcoin. One of the most unstable forms of investment, and as a form of currency it is fixing a problem most people never had to begin with, and as more and more crypto scams show up, the whole landscape as a whole has lost a majority of its reputation. Humanity, empathy, sympathy, respect for others, and compassion. Hard copies of music and movies. The radio. Financial security. Rational thought and healthy, respectful differences of opinion.